20th of last seed, 4E201, Day 4. I have arrived in Whiterun after a fairly uneventful walk. The scenery on the way was remarkable. Skyrim is certainly a beautiful, if wild, province. The road led me alongside a river and past a waterfall flowing around a large heroic statue. I'm uncertain who the hero is and will have to ask the locals about it. The citizens of Whiterun appeared generally friendly, though I met only a few on my way to the inn. My stomach was growling too much to stop and chat. Dinner here at the Bannered Mare was delicious, although the serving girl was standoffish. The innkeeper, Hulda, was quite the opposite. She happily chattered about local gossip while I finished off my ale at the bar. After paying for my meal and a room, I'm running low on funds again. I will need to find some work. One of the locals, John Battleborn, informed me that I might be able to find work with the Companions, which appears to be a fighting guild located here in Whiterun. However, it seems that his version of work means charging headfirst into battle. That isn't what I had in mind. Hulda's advice wasn't much better. She told me about a bounty that the Jarl is offering for dispatchment of some bandits in the area. Are all Nords this bloodthirsty? Despite these first disappointments, I will not be deterred. I passed several farms along the way where I can look for work, and there may be some odd jobs I can do for the merchants here in town. I am determined to independently reform my scouting party and begin the task of charting this province. It would be mortifying if I had to crawl back to Cyrodiil and beg for more guards, supplies, and money. This is my chance to prove myself. They can hardly refuse to raise me to Master Cartographer if I return with the first comprehensive map of Skyrim. Addendum. After spending a lively evening around the fire pit with the other inn's patrons, I conclude that Nords are indeed a bloodthirsty lot. Case in point, the following are lyrics to one of the most requested songs of the evening. Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red, who came riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead. And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade, as he told of bold battles and gold he had made. But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said, "Oh, you talk, and you lie, and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed." And so then came slashing and clashing of steel, as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more, when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor. 21st of last seed, 4E201, Day 5. Today I visited the Jarl of Whiterun. His palace, called Dragon's Reach, sits atop a high hill rising starkly upward in the middle of the open plains surrounding the town. The steward, one Proventus Avenici, told me the story of how it became known as Dragon's Reach. An old Nord hero named Olaf One-Eye supposedly captured a dragon and had the palace built as a prison for it. This seems quite a tall tale, except I had to wonder given the enormous dragon skull that is mounted above the Jarl's throne. My visit to Dragon's Reach was interesting. I went with the goal of simply informing the Jarl that Riverwood was calling for aid against a potential dragon attack. Upon entering, I was greeted by the Jarl's bodyguard, a deathly serious Dunmer woman named Irileth, who greeted me by pointing her sword at my chest. When I informed her that I was there to discuss a dragon, she escorted me to meet Jarl Balgruf. Balgruf appeared to be a respectable man, a capable leader and loyal ruler of his subjects. It seemed that he and his court were already aware of the dragon, and Irileth suggested that troops be sent to Riverwood. When the steward protested that this might be seen as provocation in the ongoing war, the Jarl showed an admirable degree of concern for his people by insisting that their safety come before politics. He was so grateful for my assistance in delivering the news that he gifted me with an entire set of steel armor. Not that I will wear it, but perhaps it will come in handy if I am able to find a new guard. After our official audience came to an end, the Jarl made a strange request. He took me to meet the court wizard, Farengar, and alluded to a mysterious task that would be suitable for someone of my particular talents. I think he has a misguided concept of my skill set, as it isn't map-making he has in mind. It's something to do with dragons, some sort of dangerous task involving retrieval of an artifact for Farengar. I did not ask for more details, because clearly this task is not suitable for someone of my particular talents. One exciting outcome of this odd encounter is that I obtained a new map of Skyrim, complete with labeled rivers, lakes, and peaks of particular interest. Farengar had a large version of this map on display. In exchange for agreeing to courier an item for him, he made me an exact copy of the map, reduced to travel size, using a duplication spell. Thank the divines. I had been feeling very lost without any of my reference materials. This map, although far from complete, will be an excellent template to begin my charting, and should help me maintain my bearings. The Jarl had a copy of another reference I needed, the Skyrim Survival Guide. After having experienced a bit of the province already, I am certain that I need the information to stay alive. I did experience some slight disappointment today in that none of the merchants had any work for me. Carlotta, a lovely young widow who runs a food stall, complained to me about Mikael, the town bard. He has apparently been boasting that he will conquer her as a true Nord conquers any harsh beast. I wish I could say I was surprised. I've already run into Mikael myself, and he is an arrogant, womanizing horker. I happily offered to deal with him on Carlotta's behalf. I hope I can put him in his place with just a verbal battle. I'm not really trained for anything more. 22nd of last seed, 4E201, Day 6. Today's plans were foiled by rain. I had been hoping to visit one or two of the farms outside the city for work, but I am not so desperate that I need to toil in the mud, soaked like a drowned skeever. Instead, I spent the day with Arcadia, the town's alchemist. I met her when I delivered some frost salts that the court wizard asked me to courier. Although I agreed to the task in order to get the map from him, I couldn't help wondering why he needed my help when her shop was just down the hill. My first thought was that he was just too lazy to do it himself. Silly wizards. However, after meeting Arcadia, I began to wonder if he was avoiding her on purpose. She did suggest that she might make a love potion for him, and I couldn't tell if she was joking or not. We had a spirited discussion about alchemy, and she spent the afternoon showing me how to craft a few potions. Apparently, random experimentation with various mixtures of ingredients is the cornerstone of the art. One would think that all variations would have been discovered by now, and that masters of the craft would have written volumes full of recipes and instructions. Arcadia didn't know of any such books, although she did say there were a few tomes containing some useful, if incomplete, information. I should keep an eye out for any of these books. There is definitely value in having the knowledge and skill to craft potions. I had a number of ingredients in my pouch, random things collected since my recent brush with death. As instructed, I methodically mixed 3 different ingredients together at a time, mostly failing to produce anything consumable. However, I did manage to craft 3 potions with some degree of success. One that heals wounds, one that provides protection from burns, and one that blocks mental concentration. I kept the first two since they seemed useful for my upcoming journey, but I sold the third one, plus some potions Arcadia had given me as payment for delivering the frost salts. Since it would have been insulting to sell Arcadia's gifts right back to her, I went next door to the general store. The merchant, Belethor, gave me almost 200 septims for the lot. I also got 250 septims from Carlotta for dealing with Mikhail. He backed down pretty easily when I confronted him. Perhaps my stern Imperial bearing was more than he could handle. I feel guilty for taking that much money from Carlotta. She can hardly be wealthy from her food stall, and has a child to feed as well. But she was so grateful for my help that she insisted. Fortunately, I now have enough funds to continue purchasing food and lodging at the Bannered Mare. I was even able to divert some of the funds to purchase a cloak. Skyrim rain is bone-chilling. Now, if only I could find a hood somewhere.